the producers of Superman, Alexander Salkind presents Supergirl.
Like Superman.
He's my cousin.
Whoa.
Supergirl on a secret mission to save her world.
You've had your fun, Selena. The game is finished.
Starring Faye Dunaway, Peter O'Toole, and Helen Slater as Supergirl. Rated PG. Now playing at a theater near you.
Welcome to a movie film commentary track. My name is Zachy Hassan, and I'm here with Brian Hall.
Hey, how's it going, Zachy?
Brian, I got to say, when I committed us to doing this commentary track, I assumed that we're talking about Supergirl, by the way, the 1984 Supergirl, and you know there are many release lengths of this film.
Yes,
and so you know I assumed it would be the one I had seen when I was a little lad, which is about a little under 100 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Not realizing that, in fact, the international release is the coin of the realm these days.
I look forward to talking about this because there are multiple versions of this out there, just different releases, different lengths. Actually, as I was watching this, and my mind began to wander a little bit, I went on IMDb.
Only a little bit?
Well, I don't want to lead with that because for people who are tuning into this who have a fondness for this, like a nostalgia for it, I can completely understand that. But I should say up top, this is the first time I ever saw this movie, which is
and it will likely be the last time you ever see this.
I was going to say, I thought that last night. Today with you will probably be the last time I ever watch this movie. But I went on IMDb. So I checked my watch quite a bit. And I went on IMDb and it lists the movie as an hour 45. Yeah. And I was like, liar. That version, I did not see that version anywhere. So I'm really curious for you to talk about your memories of this movie and if you've noticed what's different in this version we're about to watch.
Well, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I figure, hey, we have 2 hours and 4 minutes to fill. So
yes, let's get going.
let's just knock this bad boy out. So the timing certainly could not be more apropos. We are in the lead up to the release of the 2026 model Supergirl coming out, and I figure, well, when else would we ever talk through this movie, right? Like this is as good a time as any. It is the only time, if any. So let's do it.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I don't regret watching it. It's always been a curiosity for me. I remember this video, like VHS box at the video store growing up.
Right.
So there's a super movie out there from the 80s that I've never seen. I'm curious about it, and now we get to discuss it.
We do indeed. And yes, I fully acknowledge that obviously people do have a lot of nostalgic affinity for this film. I have no doubt. I think it's appropriate that we are talking. This is our commentary track that we're recording after having just done Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
The 1987 film. And certainly that is the nostalgic sweet spot for me. Written, by the way, by the same guy.
Oh, no kidding.
David Odell. He wrote Masters of the Universe and this.
Interesting. Okay.
Just by weird happenstance. The universe is telling us something. And just a reminder, if you want to hear this episode ad-free, which is the best way to enjoy our commentary tracks, I would recommend checking out our Patreon page, right, Brian?
Yeah, if you head over to patreon.com/moviefilmpodcast for only $5 a month, you'll find this commentary and every commentary we've ever done ad-free without any ads or interruptions butting in, which is especially important if you're trying to watch along and you don't want to have to keep pausing the movie every time an ad pops up. So definitely the most enjoyable way to enjoy the show.
So if you're ready to lock in with us and seek out the Omega Hedron alongside us, now's the time.
Yeah.
We are watching the international cut, which is the only cut that's available widely. So it's 2 hours and 4 minutes. That's the one we're watching and the one we're talking through. And if need be, I will be comforting Brian as he sobs through having to watch this again within the span of like 12 hours.
And I look forward to getting into why.
Yeah.
You need to hold my hand through this.
We'll
get into it.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Brian, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, we're going to do the usual thing. We will hit play on 3. 1, 2, 3, play. And 1, 2, 3, play.
All right.
So right up top, you will note that there is no like studio logo or anything like that.
Yes, which I read about later. I did not notice that on first viewing.
Yeah, we just get dropped right into this $1 million title sequence.
So I read that fact and I was like, no way. And so I started Googling to confirm it. And yep, like you said, yeah, $1 million this opening sequence. And the visual effects in this movie are atrocious. So you think, why would you not put that $1 million towards your movie?
Well, and it's really weird because it's clearly trying to do something adjacent to, you know, that zoom thing that we see with the titles in the first Superman, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just wishy-washy and worse.
You know what? I will actually say I thought they were impressive. I'll actually say that. I think the typeface is interesting to me, but other than that, I'm like, this goes on forever. Oh, well, certainly that. I think what I mean is for 1984.
I mean, they look nice, sure, but
it reminds me of the HBO logo, like the old 80s HBO thing. Where,
yeah, it does look like that. You're right.
Right, because it's this metallic lettering.
No, that's all fine, but like, cut to the chase, guys. I mean,
oh no arguments there, there. But I mean, this colorful sort of, you know, pink and red and whatever cloudy background, and these. I was actually impressed that this was from such an old movie that I had seen images from before.
Like in the sense that this is pre-CGI.
Exactly.
So these are like real things that you had to.
That's what I mean with the HBO thing, because I think now it comes up in my algorithm all the time. The making of that HBO opening, where you're like, no, they actually built those letters out of metal and filmed them, and it looks incredible. And so this reminded me of that, and I assumed it was the same sort of thing.
I guess, yeah.
And even like, I mean, the way that the light is playing off of it, I mean, again, for its time, it's pretty impressive.
You know what? If this was the end titles, I would have been like, cool.
Yes, it's very, very long. Yes.
So, Jenno Swark, we should say, he directed Jaws 2, which you and I both were like, well, that's better than it might have been. I think that's our takeaway from that movie.
You know what is fascinating? Because yes, I think this movie looks okay.
Yeah,
I think it's at the script level where this thing is a complete disaster.
The script is catastrophic, but to your point about the special effect, okay, actually, you know, okay, so I've got this is like Three Stooges syndrome. I got like 50 thoughts all trying to squeeze through the
Yeah. Okay,
so we're in Argo City right now. Okay. This is a chunk of Krypton that survived the explosion. Now, it would have been nice if they even a little bit explained what this is in relation to what we've already seen in those other movies.
Absolutely. I just recently read the graphic novel Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
Oh, great. By Tom King, I think.
Yes. Wonderful. And they do explain what happened, how, you know, Supergirl survived and this floating chunk, and, you know, how they've like put a little protective bubble over it. It like makes complete sense and is a wonderful tragedy even.
Right.
And in this one, I was waiting to see, is this the same setup? And I don't know that I understood this at all. They're in some other dimension. I mean, there's no, they don't contextualize it at all. Like anything, it could have been a crawl. Sure.
Anything, right? Because the problem is that these people are the same people that Marlon Brando was chilling with a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But this is like some weird hippie commune with like the city's like a whole WeWorks building.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there's no sense of tragedy or
exactly,
you know, displacement or anything. A hippie commune. That's perfect. Yeah. Right? They're all barefoot walking around in these robes and
right. And okay, so two things I want to say. First of all, Helen Slater is very good in this movie. And
I don't disagree. I wasn't sure at first.
I think she gives more than the movie allows her to give.
I actually thought that Titanic quote where I was like, I wish they had built you a better movie.
100%.
Yeah.
And I will also say Peter O'Toole has like 2 scenes in this, and he's clearly like you can smell the alcohol.
Yes, I didn't want to be like disrespectful, but I was like, it almost feels like they found him like tipsy somewhere, and they're like, hey, we're shooting this movie. Do you want like? And they put a little cheesy wand in his hand, and like, what would this guy be like? He's like, well, he'd be a little like this, like.
But I will even still. I think he shows up.
You know what? He's playing a character.
Absolutely. And so I would say he gives a comparable level of investment as Brando did in the first film, because by all accounts, Brando could not be bothered to care about the first Superman, but my man showed up.
He came to play without a doubt. Whether or not it works for you, that's a whole other thing.
Yes.
Like he was making me chuckle a little bit, but I was also his commitment. I completely admire.
Absolutely. Well, because he has like 2 scenes in this movie, right? So it's actually very Brando-esque. Now, but here's the thing. Okay, so that's Mia Farrow who just is here. Like this is the only part of the movie she's in.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see Simon Ward in like a second as Kara's dad, Zor-El, who is Jor-El's brother.
Mm-hmm. Now, my
thought is that guy, I'm sure he's a fine actor. But I'm like, you got Peter O'Toole right here.
Yes. Yeah.
Why wouldn't you have him as Kara's dad, right? Like,
yeah, that's interesting.
It's weird. I mean, it's just an odd choice, right? Because I think that I don't, I think the fact that that's Jor-El's brother is kind of a big deal, but you wouldn't know that from what we see here, right?
Right. Yeah.
Also, based on this scene right here, Kara is kind of an idiot, right? Like,
I know. Well, this is where the problems for the entire movie begin and never recover, right? I mean, she's essentially responsible for dooming the last remaining survivors of Krypton.
Well, and both her and Drunky McGee over there, because.
Yes. He irresponsibly took like one all-important power source for this.
Yeah, he's like, we have 2 power sources.
Yeah.
Kara.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of kicks it over to her as she brings this goddamn horror show Dragonfly to life.
Yeah.
As it dooms them all.
Yes.
And we're supposed to be like, and there's our hero.
Well, or could be, right? If her first order of business is to fix things, you know what I mean? Like, what have I done? I'm youthful. I made a mistake, but I've got to save my people. But from the moment she gets in that little pod, she's like, wow, space is wonderful, isn't it? Not like banging on the glass, looking back like, Mom, Dad.
No ticking clock.
No ticking clock. And the second she gets to Earth, she's like, oh, look, an all-girl academy. That looks like fun. And then she's like playing lacrosse like 5 minutes later, like as if her people aren't in peril right now. That never gets brought back up.
This is so weird. So to me, this is there's Jor-El's brother, not that you would know or care. They never mentioned, oh, by the way, my cousin went to Earth. Anyway, proceed with your tree or whatever, right? This structurally, what you do is you make Zoltar the guy who is directly responsible for what has happened. And Kara is like, I need to save my people. I need to save my friend.
Yes.
And I'm going to do this. That's right. So it's a weird, because either way you have to end up with Zoltar in the Phantom Zone. So why either way you're going to get there, but like right away we're like, well, she's a dummy.
Yeah.
And so it's very weird, and it's doubly weird because, and admittedly, I'm not an expert on the Supergirl comic continuity of this era, but I mean, it wasn't really even reflective of what was there in the comics, you know?
That's what I was wondering, if this how close at all this story has anything to do with the comics. So not much.
Not much. Like my understanding is that it's similar in that you have this chunk of Krypton that was flung into space when the planet exploded, and so Kara grows up there, and her father is Zor-El, and then the land that they're on itself transmutes into kryptonite.
Right.
So the people begin to die, and so they send Kara to Earth to save her life, and that's the comic. And then Superman finds her on Earth. They in the last 20 years or so, they changed it to say that Kara is actually older than Kal-El.
Okay.
But because of the time dilation, he ended up arriving on Earth before her and growing to adulthood before she did. So she is currently physically younger, but she's actually older.
Is that to give her some sort of mental maturity, or why even go through those extra steps?
I think partly it's just to add something different to her. The idea that her experience with Krypton would be very different from Superman's.
Yeah. Oh, sure. That makes sense. Right. By the way, these effects remind me very like Douglas Trumbull 2001 kind of, which I kind of dig.
Yeah, and we saw something similar in both the first and second Superman films.
Yeah,
where it's like putting oil in water or whatever, and just
totally. But kind of cool, kind of works. But see, she's all like, "Wow, it's so gorgeous."
Yeah,
like there's no, which I can understand to a point, but we never saw her freaking out.
That's right.
About what she's left behind.
Okay, so
here we go.
So now I have to say, so Faye Dunaway as Selena. Now I think the character is garbage.
Yeah.
Okay, it makes not even a lick of sense, and I'll get into why. However, I have to give credit. I think Faye Dunaway, she's doing something interesting.
Oh, she's no, absolutely. Like,
right?
She's playing this character the way that the movie wants this character to be. But
yes,
you can get into what's wrong with the character, and then we can also get into this plot, which is basically just her and Supergirl fighting over a boy they don't even know
basically
for 2 hours while her planet apparently is powering down and everyone's dying.
At no point do we cut back to Argo and see them gasping for air or any, right? Like
I literally wrote down in my notes, I thought it would be funny when it's like, he's cute. It's like, no, I saw him first. And then we cut back to the planet and like, we're dying. The children's lungs are even smaller. They're dying faster. Like just how horrifying what's happening, that she has just completely forgotten about, the movie has forgotten about. I couldn't believe 2/3 in. I was like, this is the plot. This is the plot. They're just fighting over a boy that they don't even know.
Yeah.
They're just a cute guy they saw. I can't believe this is the plot.
It doesn't it feel, it's like a middle-aged man writing what he thinks teenage girls want to see.
That occurred to me too, because right? I thought this is, especially in the 80s, I'll speak for myself. Like I really did feel like there were boy things and there were girl things.
Absolutely.
That was definitely what the culture was like then. Boys didn't play with girl toys or watch girl shows and vice versa.
Yeah.
And so I can imagine as a boy, this movie coming out and me thinking, oh, well, I guess this is for girls. And if I were to watch it, I'd be proven kind of, well, no, I don't want to like put women down saying that this is for them, because it isn't. But it is about girls and boys and whatever. And just, It would not have appealed to me. And then I was like, why would they reduce, like almost insult this character for having her be so, wrapped up in this silly nonsense. But then it occurred to me, my train of thought, wait, a man wrote this.
Yeah.
Like probably exactly like you said, a middle-aged man is like, well, it's about girls and they're fighting over a boy. Supergirl.
They like boys and field hockey, don't they?
Yeah. Exactly. So it begins to make a little bit more sense.
So we get the little thing like, by the way, Superman is off in space.
Yes, over the radio, like a news report.
on a special peace-seeking mission to a galaxy. Scientists estimate maybe several hundred trillion light years away, which that's A, convenient, but B, also like what have the other films shown us that would lead us to believe that's congruous,
Yeah. Well, he was apparently in earlier drafts, right?
He was, yeah, and Chris Reeve noped out. So right there, what we just saw of Kara flying out of the water, that was a cardboard standee that they just pulled on a wire, which I thought was.
I read that, and I think that is fascinating, and it looks great.
Yeah, I agree. So before we move past the thing with Selena, the villain character played by Faye Dunaway, this is the type of thing that kind of drives me nuts in terms of story construction. She's sitting there in her picnic. We know she's bad because her picnic blanket is like a stuffed tiger, right?
Yes.
And she's like, "Oh, if only I could rule the world." Plop! As this Omega Hedron just drops in her soup.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, wow, that's convenient, isn't it?
Right.
Somehow this all-powerful device lands within spitting distance of the worst person on Earth.
Sure.
Right? And I was thinking, I was like, it would have taken no effort at all to say the Omega Hedron pops into our plane and she senses it because she's a witch.
Mm-hmm.
And now she and Supergirl are both drawn to it.
Yes.
And you eliminate the coincidence entirely.
Sure.
Right? This is the type. Oh, man, this drives me nuts, you know?
By the way, I really like this sequence.
Oh, it's great. We're talking about the flying ballet.
Yeah.
Because, again, Brian, girls love ballet.
Well, but it's someone on a new planet, and they're discovering they have different abilities, and it's kind of drawn out, but in a way that I actually think works.
I agree.
You know, her realizing she can squish a rock and she can fly, and I do love that this is all shot through. Like we're like peeping Toms, almost hiding in a bush, like looking through branches, which is kind of weird if you think of it that way. But obviously, it's to obscure the wires.
That's right. So Helen Slater, she's 19 when she makes this movie. She brings like maturity to the like I feel like she's older, you know?
Yeah.
Very much Christopher Reeve-esque, where you have this unknown who really does make a strong mark, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the fact that she had a pretty solid career after this film speaks to that, right? Because she was, you know, I don't know if you've seen The Legend of Billie Jean. I think that's what she's most known for. But I mean, she's the love interest in Secret of My Success. And
oh wow, I have not seen that movie in a long time, but
yeah.
Okay, interesting. And I've never seen Legend of Billie Jean, and that just came up in a group hangout recently, and they were
wow. There you go.
Yeah, they were talking. They really liked that movie. So I was
the universe is telling you something.
Yeah, it's plopping into my soup right now that I should catch up on Helen Slater's filmography.
Now, I have to say, someone else who showed up for this movie was Jerry Goldsmith.
Yeah,
because man, this score is like 20% more than this movie is giving at any given time.
Sure, yeah.
Like, oh, hey, girls love ponies, right, Brian?
But you know what? Again, I will say real fast. I mean, obviously, this looks a little janky to our eyes in 2026, but I love the spirit of this.
Absolutely.
Just her. This. So, to be fair, like any criticism of this movie isn't anything to do with its lack of budget or, you know, not so great visual effects. Like, I love this. I love her learning she can fly, and then, you know, flying over these racing horses and the countryside and picking up a flower and letting it bloom. I think this is really lovely.
I think all of that stuff works, and it shapes the character in a way that we didn't get to see the Chris Reeve Superman do, because if you remember in the first film, you know, he discovers the Fortress of Solitude, and then he kind of goes off and learns with Jor-El, and then we see him, you know, one montage later, he is Superman, right?
Yeah. Or I guess in a way it reminds me of the scene when Clark is running alongside the train.
Yeah, they're all
that
good
giddy
call.
sense of discovery.
That's good call. Yeah. And I think that aspect of the character is what makes her different from Superman, right? She's an immigrant in a way that Superman is not.
Right, sure.
And that's certainly something Tom King, really plugged into in that run that you're talking about, that recent run, where you're wrestling with this cultural clash.
Mm-hmm.
I think this film gives it lip service, but I think fundamentally, by the way, I love Brenda Vaccaro is a lot of fun in this, and I'm just like, she's kind of playing like the Carrie Fisher character.
Dude, I thought the exact same thing. I was thinking if Carrie Fisher in 1984 could see this, it'd be like, you are glimpsing into the future. This is who you become.
That's right.
Actually, and I also wrote down the pitch. What if the villains were Patty and Selma vibes?
That's really what it is.
Later, I don't know the character's name, but Bianca.
Yeah,
like she's always got a cigarette and like, I don't know, girl. It's
like, a lot of that.
She's wonderful, though. By the way, she has much needed color, I think.
Well, it's great because she's basically the Ned Beatty,
Totally, yeah.
Less stupid, but
I was gonna say, yeah. A little more Carrie Fisher, yeah. Little sardonic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She's like a sassy 1950s secretary, Well, you don't see that every day, do you? As she tips her cigarette ash off,
Totally, like unaffected by everything,
Exactly.
It's so funny. I also thought it was. Oh yeah, no, go ahead, please.
Well, real quick, we were talking about the special effects and some interesting stuff here with like front projection and stuff, and I say this often. I appreciate the swing sometimes more than the execution, because I don't think some of this projection work is as effective as what we saw in the earlier Chris Reeve films.
I agree, and I think a lot of that can have to do with taking away the idea of, like the grain structure of the background just not matching, what we're seeing with her. Forgetting all of that. I think you have to take into account the camera movement of the background and the camera movement of your hero.
That's great. Yeah.
Right. Because they're not in sync with one another. So it creates a jarring effect.
That's exactly it. So they were trying a new process. It wasn't the same flying effect technology that they used for the earlier films, and I don't think it worked as well as it might have.
Yeah. I gotta say, I didn't love this scene.
I was just about. What I had written down was this scene. What the hell?
Yeah. I mean, look, there's part of me that understands this. You got these two gross truck driver guys coming up and basically sexually harassing her.
Yeah.
And I get it. And I can even understand a version of this scene in a Supergirl movie, but it's just kind of not what I want.
It's very icky.
And they're not really being cartoonish as some of the other characters are. They're really grotesque and upsetting. And like, it's like the real world seeping into a fantasy film.
That's right.
In a way that's really upsetting.
So the guy in the denim jacket, that's Matt Frewer.
Yes, Max Headroom.
Max Headroom himself, yeah.
And the neighbor dad from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
From Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, that's right, yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm surprised we don't see more of him, by the way. He's good.
He's a
character actor.
Yeah, he was in, gosh, what's the last thing I saw him in? He was in Zack Snyder's Watchmen.
Yeah.
He's Moloch.
Yeah. Okay.
He's been in a few things here and there. I met him at a con a couple of years ago, and it was cool just to talk to him. He's just a cool guy.
Yeah.
So this right here, obviously they're being, as you said, it's not cartoonish.
Yeah.
It's gross. And I think Helen Slater plays the vulnerability, like the initial what the hell coupled with her resistance very well. But this right here, where she's like, why are you doing this? And he's like, it's just the way we are.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I know. It's so dark.
Now, that bit right there where she kicks him below the legs, his balls should have just like exploded.
Dude, I know I saw this in something recently, but I did have the thought like it'd be kind of funny as she was discovering her laser vision if she just like blew one of their faces through the back of their heads. And then one of the friends is like, whoa.
Now here's the thing about this. Okay. Yeah, right there. He
Right. If she's got a super kick, his balls would have come out of his mouth like two chestnuts.
Shot through the top of his head. But here's the thing. They're like, so you like Superman, huh? They live in a world with Superman. Superman is a fact of existence.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first instant when she lifts this dude up by his chin, it doesn't occur to them like, oh, maybe you're a super person and we should stop this. But no, dude pulls his knife out and then she does like her heat vision on it.
Yeah.
And he's still coming at her.
Yeah. Yeah. It's now, just the way they are, Zachy.
I'd say it's the way we are. So this scene here, it will not surprise you, I don't think, to know that it was cut out of the American theatrical release.
Oh, wow. Okay. That makes... it's like this weird... I don't even know how to describe it. Like this weird campy bad guy convention party.
I feel like this is the prelude to a key party. That was my thought.
Yeah, totally. But then you have like a guy coming in on a toy train carrying drinks on a tray. And oh, that makes so much. I actually wrote down, because I didn't know there were different versions first. Yeah. I wrote down this movie is desperately in need of an editor.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think you could, even if I was never going to enjoy the plot, it could move better, and I could think of it as not a terrible campy time.
Yeah.
But this movie is just way too long, and that makes so much sense.
So that was the realization I had. Now, I the last time I saw this movie was sometime in the early part of the 1990s. WGN in Chicago had some kind of a Superman marathon.
Yeah.
And that was the one and only time I've seen the movie the whole way through. And my recollection was always like it was about an hour and a half ish. So I hit play on this. I'm like 2 hours and 4 minutes. What the hell, And then, like you, I did digging enough.
This woman. I'm like, what is happening, and why are we spending time on this?
Yeah,
where she's spinning around. Sorry. I mean, yes.
It's a chance for Peter Cook to vamp, and he's kind of a fun comic actor.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming it was one of those things that they shot not expecting to make it into the final cut. What's weird is that that's gross right there. This
is so weird.
Yeah. So Selena is using her witch powers to like make her spin around after she ate like a scorpion.
Yeah.
I think that oftentimes you'll have a movie that's short and you'll be like, this is just a wet fart of a thing, but it's because they cut all this stuff out. Right. And so that's like the legend that springs up, so, whether we're talking about Joel Schumacher's Batman Forever or even, Superman 4, which famously they cut like 40 minutes out of that.
Mm.
Well, what we're seeing now is, I suppose, close to a director's cut.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, this movie desperately needed to not have all of this stuff in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. But then you see the theatrical cut also is a mess. And so you're like, oh, well, this it's just a mess no matter what.
Yeah. Interesting.
Right. And the thing is that, we were talking about the budget. I mean, they had $1 million to spend on that opening title sequence because they had $35 million.
There's no excuse. There's no excuse. $35 million.
That is a substantiall chunk of change in 1984.
Mm-hmm.
And so on the one hand, you're like, well, they weren't lowballing this thing. They weren't like, oh, it's a girl movie, let's spend less. No, they put the money into it.
By the way, I just out of curiosity, because Back to the Future came out a year later, that budget was $14 million.
There you go.
Anyway, just
right. No, and I think that's relevant because clearly they were trying to spend Superman-esque money.
Sure.
And so good, right? Like that's but yet you have a movie that manages to neatly evade all of the stuff that people tended to enjoy about those Superman movies.
Mm-hmm.
So here, to your point, she is on the clock, Kara, but she's like, let me just blend in with these schoolgirls and just like see how things are here.
I just wish, that moment when she's looking at the lake earlier, that sort of golden shot, and she puts her hands on her hips. I almost wish they had even ADR'd something like, I will get back to you, I promise. Or something, so we know that is her goal and first act. So, but there's like a lackadaisical feel to even just this shot of her slowly going upstairs. Like it almost feels like, okay, I got to blend in because I've got to exist here somehow before I figure out how I can go back. There's no urgency.
So as originally written, Superman meets her when she arrives on Earth. Mm-hmm. By the way, we talked right past this, but when she arrives on Earth, she emerges from that cocoon wearing a Superman costume.
Actually, I had that written down, and then I was like, whatever. I just, but yeah.
Let's, my daughter who's 9, she's like, wait, how does she have a costume, right? So,
well, it happens. She's in the pod wearing her robes.
Yeah, but then we cut back to her, and she's got a Superman costume.
Immediately, yes. All of a sudden, I don't even think she reacts to it.
Right.
So
now this right here, this like Usual Suspects thing where she like pulls the name.
Yes.
My only thought is, first of all, she should have been like, my name is Robert Lee, or,
right.
Because I'm like, Linda, like, where did she get Linda from? Right.
That's true. Yeah.
But the other thing, she's either like completely unfamiliar with our ways and customs, or she knows enough to like type up a recommendation letter and slip it into his file under the proper, like, alphabetically organized.
That's what I loved, is when he reads it out loud, thinking about her typing that out, like about herself.
Right. So as written, Superman is there, and I've seen like the page of when Superman meets her, so I don't know how he would have found out she was coming or whatever. But I thought, you have Superman basically saying, you have to be careful how you use your powers, and he says something to the effect of like, don't fall in love because it's not going to be fair to you or the other person. And the writing, it was very like boilerplate, but I was like, well, Chris Reeve could have made this into something interesting. Yeah. Chris Reeve was coming off of Superman 3, and I think he wanted nothing more to do with Superman at that point.
That's so sad.
It really is, because I think
so perfect.
I think he would have elevated this movie, but I also think if he shows up at the beginning when she's arrives, and then he's like, gotta go, and then he comes back at the end, I think people might have been like, well, where's Superman?
Yeah. Oh, totally. Wait, by the way, did you see that A&W soda machine? That one of the truck drivers was wearing an A&W t-shirt.
Oh, there you go. There's the kind of product placement A&W, I'm sure, was hoping for.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, let's put it on the gross guy who feels up Kara. Yeah.
Jesus, super gross. And so my point is, I think by not having Superman be like, listen, while you're here, you got to blend in or something, like just give her that little nudge, her and the audience, the nudge in that direction to make this make sense.
Yeah, would have helped.
But otherwise, it's like, wow, she's Clark Kent's cousin. And look, it's Lois Lane's sister who's dating Jimmy Olsen. I'm like, what are there, like 8 people in this universe?
I know. Yeah. I mean, she's doing the alternate ego thing. She looks so wide-eyed and sweet, and she does do that really well. She does. I did write down though. She does unlike some of the other actors, she is doing kind of an old school acting style.
Interesting.
A little bit, even as Supergirl, where it's like well, that'd be swell, real swell. That kind of older school, sort of 50s kind of thing. I thought that was kind of interesting. I don't know if that was to convey innocence or something. Maybe that's what the director thought. I don't know, but she makes it endearing, I'll say. Helen Slater. So, wait, is this a college or a high school, like a boarding school kind of situation?
It's a high school.
Okay.
So there's a whole separate conversation we're about to have about
the groundskeeper.
Yeah, exactly. Like, which the movie doesn't want to address at all.
Yeah, I did look it up out of curiosity. He was 27.
Hart Bochner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, by the way, I didn't even realize it was him until I think when he opened his mouth. And then of course you see that
and he's
smile.
like, Selena, booby.
Yeah. But yeah, because I mean, he does look kind of like generic 80s hunk guy.
Yeah.
And then when he opens his mouth and he's got the smile, I was like, wait a minute.
The smile. Yeah, I know that shit-eating grin.
Yeah, but it's kind of interesting. See, yeah, he plays such a wormy guy in Die Hard.
Yep.
And here he's like the stud.
It is weird. Just 4 years later, you know?
Yeah, he is studly in this, though. Got to give him that.
Yeah, it's what I read is that Elias Hall kind of wanted Peter Gallagher for that part.
Interesting.
And I can certainly see that. I think
see that, sure.
I don't think any actor could have made that role really work. Real quick, I want to mention here. So this poster is obviously all we get of Chris Reeve explicitly in this film. I love how Jerry Goldsmith brings in the John Williams Superman music.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, famously, initially Richard Donner wanted Jerry Goldsmith to do the music for the first film.
Oh, interesting.
Right, because he had worked with him on The Omen.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened is that just the movie, just the schedule kept getting pushed and pushed. So Goldsmith was available, then he wasn't available. So they had to settle for John Williams.
Post Star Wars.
Yeah,
you know, didn't they know? And Jaws.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was one of those things where it was like, well, we lost this guy, but we got this guy too. So it worked out well either way.
Sure.
But Goldsmith's Supergirl theme, I think you sort of get maybe a window into what his Superman music might have been like, you know?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think, as I said earlier, he gives more than the movie deserves just in terms of the energy of his score.
Yeah.
And we're talking about coincidence real quick, but I know to mention Peter Cook, Nigel, also happens to be the math teacher at this school. So he is a warlock / math teacher.
That's right. Yeah, you think he'd be working in science or something, and he'd be pulling off crazy chemical reactions. Or that's really funny.
Now, this, by the way, part of the reason we have Bianca like shuttling Selena around is that Faye Dunaway would just kind of show up whenever, and so out of frustration, they basically just shot them separately. So that like there were times when she's just Faye Dunaway hasn't shown up. Okay, well let's just get Bianca's coverage.
Well, that's good directing. I'll say that. By the way, this bothered me last night, but I didn't rewind it. So when Bachner is sawing at that tree, he's sawing between like the Y intersection in the tree, but then he pulls a branch off that's behind the tree. I was like, what? So like, why is he sawing that tree in half? And then, anyway, never mind.
No.
It doesn't matter.
So here's the thing. So Selena, she sees Ethan Hart Bachner, you know, the groundskeeper.
Yeah.
And she's like, I have to create a spell to make him fall in love with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, I mean, you're Faye Dunaway. You're like a sexy older lady.
Right.
Like just seduce him.
Try that first. And maybe she's offended
before we jump to Eye of Newt and all that shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Which, by the way, I always find that stuff kind of annoying in superhero movies where it's just like, yeah, she's like a witch. Like a witch? That's so like generic. You know what I mean? Like, and like earthbound sort of. Yeah. Like, yeah, I know what a witch is. They're in fairy tales and things. Like, you couldn't come up with something more specific to this that feels otherworldly and sci-fi and fun. Like, it just feels so right off the bat. When I saw she was a witch, I was like, oh, really? Like,
well, it really does to me feel like the people making the movie were like, oh, what's something girly?
Sure. Oh, interesting. Okay.
You know,
interesting. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, because the opportunity, honestly, is to make this Omega Hedron something that, you know, the evil Kryptonians are after, or evil space aliens or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so once it's free and clear from Argo, it's being tracked to Earth by somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Or again, if you want to do this character, then have it be something that they become aware of, and everybody's going after it.
Yeah. Excuse me. Like where she, yeah. Make her like an ordinary person who has, bad instincts.
Exactly.
And suddenly comes into this otherworldly power. It feels less silly to me.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. Is there's this happenstance of, oh, it happened to land, just a few feet from the most evil person on Earth,
Right?
And all of these people just happen to all be, in this suburb of Chicago.
I know. This warlock math teacher,
right?
Yeah. But so,
I love these two bullies here. I call them Bulk and Skull from Power Rangers. Those two.
Yes.
They're just going around being horrible for like no reason.
I know. Yeah.
At one point, like later when they're messing with the
showers.
The shower, they're like, I want to burn the flesh off their bones or something friggin' psychotic.
I know. I was like, that's strange.
And it's weird because we didn't get something earlier, like Lucy Lane is defending somebody that they're picking on, or like some reason that they would have it out for her.
100%. Yep. It's just, no motivations. They just know there needs to be a bully so she can have this moment.
Like you have the scene where they're picking on Kara for some reason, and Lucy is like, "Hey, back off."
Mm-hmm.
That's your setup, and then you get to the whatever. Like, oh yeah, like get her with the ball, the hockey ball.
Yeah.
Which, like, if it shattered, like if it turned to dust on Kara's back, like how hard did you hit that?
I know. But what's bothering me about that? I wrote it down. I was like, why are you playing lacrosse? Your world is dying.
Because everybody needs a break occasionally, Brian, okay?
But I was like, you could fix that where she's like, okay, I've got to all right, I've blended in. I've got a cover story. I've got to get down. I need to leave this campus and go try to find that Powerball thing.
Right.
And someone's like, no, come on. Like we're late. And she's like, for what? The game. And like, no, I don't have time. And then you push her into the game. So you get some sense of urgency. And then you can still have the fun of her playing the game and the ball blowing up on her back and all,
Okay, so now do that with her absent-mindedly putting on a bra over her clothes.
I know. George Lucas was right. There are no bras in space. See, I could just picture him in a screening room watching this like, see, I told you. It's really funny.
So Jenno Swark, as we said, who directed this film, he had previously had success with Jaws 2, and before this he did Somewhere in Time, which starred Christopher Reeve and Jane Seymour.
Okay,
so I think Christopher Reeve recommended him to the Salkinds.
Okay, stuffing her bra.
Yeah, which again, I'm glad Kara doesn't have anything pressing in her life to worry about. See, this whole human identity sequence only works if she has Superman being like, you need to blend in.
Yeah, because otherwise, why would she do that at all? She would just, if she's as naive as she comes across initially, she would just go straight to work.
Yeah, well, and this is the thing, right? Like, because the movie starts with her. That's the other thing, right? Like, she knows that Superman is on Earth because she talks to Zoltar. She's like, oh yeah, the Earth, where my cousin is, right? Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, well, how much knowledge does she have? Like, because she knows he's Clark Kent and all that. So I'm like, is he like Mr. Belvedere, like writing letters to Argo? You know what I mean?
Right.
The Owens family have blended. That's Clark.
Right.
Pan over, woman in a bikini. It's like every episode of Mr. Belvedere.
I forgot about it. Yeah.
I, on the other hand, am doing other things. And he like lights a cigar and then.
Right.
That's my broad recollection of every Mr. Belvedere episode.
By the way, I thought about that baseball stadium. I was like, well, that's not Wrigley because they didn't have lights till 88.
Well, look at that.
Could be Comiskey. But, and then by the way, I was curious what was playing on that drive-in screen, and it's Psycho 2.
Psycho too. Just a relatively recent film.
I wonder if that was just something, the B-roll helicopter picked up, like just a drive-through playing Psycho 2 because it was 1983 or whatever.
It is cool to see the Chicago skyline circa 1982-3.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I remember this VHS box from when I was a kid, and I remember her flying past the Statue of Liberty. So when I saw her flying over Chicago in this movie, I thought, huh? So I don't know if they just thought, it's more, maybe creates more of a link to Superman to see her in Metropolis / New York.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the poster has her in front of the New York skyline. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
But yeah, so just to put a pin on my thought, yeah. So I'm just like, is Clark just sending, or like, what was that? Remember on Fraggle Rock, Uncle Travelin' Matt? He would like send letters back.
You know what? I never have seen Fraggle Rock.
Well, there you go. Fraggle Rock. You had the main character Gobo, and his uncle Travelin' Matt would be out in the world, and he would send letters back about all the things he had seen. So I'm like, is he doing that? Is he sending letters to Argo City? Right, because I'm like, if Clark knows that there are other Kryptonians out there, he's not just going to be like, all right, well, y'all keep me posted. Let me know, right? Like,
that's true. It's his people. Yeah.
So
his home.
And maybe I'm overthinking, but I can't help it. I'm like, how much knowledge do the Argo people have about Superman?
I don't think that's overthinking. I would just call that thinking. Frankly. But yeah, then when he gets in this whole thing, put a spider in a chestnut shell. I was like, oh, what are we doing?
See, like, why not just have the Omega Hedron do that?
Exactly.
Right? Like, you're creating this extra step.
100%. And maybe she has these grand ambitions and thinks of herself higher than she actually is, her status or something. And now that corrupt person mentally has the power she did not have before to actually carry those things out.
Exactly.
That's way more interesting.
I was thinking about Hart Bochner, how like again, 4 years later, he's Ellis.
Yeah.
In Die Hard, right? And Hart Bochner, I think he's had a decent career. I think, he's a good character actor thing. But like, he had the fortune / misfortune of playing such an indelible character in this movie that just lives on and on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That like, he is trapped as Harry Ellis.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, sure.
Because you look at him in this, and he's like a traditionally handsome, you could see him as like a 1980s or 90s leading man in like a television show or something.
Totally. Yeah. It's funny. I actually got to meet him because he had a small part in the Christopher Guest movie For Your Consideration.
Oh, nice.
And so I don't remember why. I saw him shoot, but then I had to go to, he was directing something. Then I had to go to the editing offices where he was, with his editor. And he could not have been nicer.
Yeah.
And he had no beard. And I was like, whoa. Like, it was just weird for me because I didn't know him from a lot of other things. So seeing him here, I was like, I don't know, you take the beard away and I don't know. Obviously, it's the character he's playing too in Die Hard.
Yeah, I mean, over here, he's doing like a Tony Danza / Nick from Family Ties thing.
Yeah, like a himbo sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the first scene where I realized who he was because, I mean, it's unmistakable.
Once he smiles, you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. But he's just, I wasn't used to him looking any other way when I saw him without the beard and everything. Like you said, he got really locked into that character, I guess, unfortunately. Or fortunately.
By the way, apropos of nothing, but speaking of Nick from Family Ties.
Yeah.
I forget that guy's name. I forget his name. But anyway, he played the Superman villain Metallo on Lois and Clark.
Oh, good for him.
Because I, like my friend Michael Bailey, I can find a way to connect most things back to Superman in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. So wait, did she summon him here?
Yes,
now
because Bianca says I saw his number on his truck.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And she came out on that little toy choo-choo train.
See, this is the part I don't understand, right? You have Faye Dunaway, and I think most men at this time, if Faye Dunaway starts seducing them, they would probably be at least amenable, right?
Right.
So I'm kind of like, what you do is you bake in something like, she only looks pretty when she's in her lair, if she leaves, she looks like a horrible witch or something, some limitation that says, well, I can only use magic to seduce this man.
Or like, not exactly this, but Uma Thurman in Batman and Robin, where she's just kind of frumpy and like she has these ambitions, but she doesn't take care of herself outwardly.
Yes.
Or project a lot of confidence.
There you go.
But then once she comes into this new ability, whatever confidence she had inside now shows on
the
inside.
Problem there, as we're talking about that, I'm like, man, what a trope, right? Like we have seen so many versions of that.
Sure.
Right? Like Kristen Wiig in Wonder Woman 2.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Right. And even, I mean, like that's Jamie Foxx in Spider-Man. That's Jim Carrey.
True. Yeah. And the previous Batman movie.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know. Still, I don't know.
Scott Valentine, by the way, that's the actor's name. Nick from Family Ties.
Okay. Oh, strangely, that rings a bell.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's great as Nick, by the way. That's
he was doing like a Tony Danza / Sylvester Stallone thing, right?
Yeah, like lovable
Mallory.
doofus. Yeah.
I'm an artist or whatever.
Yeah, but like Heart of Gold, you couldn't
Heart of Gold, exactly.
help but love him. But he was like a great foil for Alex.
That's the funny thing is when you watch that show, when you watch it now, you're like, well, Alex is like being really cruel to this guy who he's like an artist. Like he's not even like some blue collar guy that like Alex would necessarily look down his nose on,
Mm-hmm.
It's like he seems like a sensitive soul who wants to create art.
Right.
But the show kind of makes you be like, I don't know about I like Alex and his 3-piece suits or whatever.
Right.
Look at this. She gives Nigel acne.
Yeah, that's so strange. I know.
His reaction to this is very funny because it feels like something she's done before.
Mm.
You know what I mean? He's like, oh, that bitch. Right?
Right.
The way he says it, it's like, oh, again with this,
It's funny. Which, by the way, I read that apparently they wanted Dudley Moore for that role initially, and Moore suggested Cook because they used to be like a comedic duo.
Yeah, and Peter Cook was in what's the devil movie?
Max Devlin?
No. No. Remember they remade it with Brendan Fraser.
Oh,
Bedazzled.
Yeah.
So in the remake, it's Elizabeth Hurley, but in the original, it's Peter Cook as the devil.
Oh, quite the glow up.
Yeah.
That's lucky our generation. I never saw that. I wonder if, I'm sure it's not great, but I wonder if it'd be like a good, dopey late 90s movie or something.
The Brendan Fraser one? Yeah, Harold Ramis directed that.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Wow. I remember it existing, and I just
never saw it. I'm with you. I saw the trailers.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I also, as long as we're talking about casting, I read that they wanted Dolly Parton really badly for Selena.
Yeah, for Selena.
Which I kind of see. I mean, like she would bring a fun camp to it for sure.
Yeah. I think Dolly was like, I'm not doing anything witchcraft related.
Yeah.
Which, given her brand, that makes sense.
Totally.
And again, like I think Faye Dunaway was a solid choice in terms of what they were trying to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's not doing anything wrong. I think everything we've said, like if we could just tweak this character a little bit, it all comes down to the script.
The character as conceived is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of if you're trying to emulate the Superman template, then Faye Dunaway is at least as value added as Gene Hackman.
Right. Who were both in Bonnie and Clyde.
That's right. Yeah.
This poor guy, Bachner, just like he's like a pawn in this game he doesn't understand.
Yeah, no, I get it. I've been there, man.
I actually felt really bad for him in this scene where everyone's just driving around him like, hey, idiot.
Yeah, nobody's like, hey, man, are you okay? Like walk him to the curb,
I was like, doesn't that just sum up humanity? And later, too, when Kara's with her friends and they're like, oh, he's probably on drugs. Like,
it's so funny because they see him wandering around
almost getting hit by cars.
And then the next time we see them, they're just in here again in the Popeyes eating.
I think we actually see them turn around and go back in the restaurant.
Anyway,
and I was like, they're the good guys.
The good guys. So how old was Mark McClure in this?
27.
27.
And he's just about to shoot Back to the Future.
Isn't that crazy? He's in between Superman 3 and Back to the Future 1.
Mm-hmm.
And he said himself, basically they're like, hey, you want to do this? He's like, okay,
Sure.
And even he was like, I don't know what I'm doing here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because like at one point he even said to Zwark, he's like, hey, shouldn't I like mention Superman?
Uh-huh.
And they're like, no, this is like Supergirl's movie. This is something. And he's like, well, why am I here then?
Right. So he's dating this roommate?
That's what I'm not understanding. I'm like, how old is Jimmy Olsen supposed to be? Because it feels like Lucy is like 16.
By the way, she's in her 30s, the actor.
Well, she shows it well.
But no, she looks great. You know me and my obsession with Googling everyone's ages. So I love how
That's
all
amazing.
over the place it is, because she's I want to say like early 30s, and then Kara is 18 or something when she's shooting this, and
yeah,
it's
But they're in a high school.
He looks like he's 27 to me. Like
absolutely.
And I'm sure he's supposed to be 21 or something.
So
right?
Yeah. Is he supposed to be a teenager here at this point?
I don't even know. Wait, by the way, I have to call this out. Sorry. I noticed there was so much Tylenol product placement in this.
Uh-huh.
There's a big billboard for Tylenol, and earlier we see the headmaster or whatever, the principal of the school, like, holding a Tylenol bottle directly at camera, and I was like, and then I thought, wasn't like the Tylenol murders in the 80s? Like, when was that? And I looked it up, and it was 2 years before this.
Oh.
When in the Chicagoland area, there was someone who was putting cyanide, cracking open Tylenol bottles and putting cyanide inside, and people were dying taking Tylenol. So I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. Tylenol needed some brand rehabilitation. So they're probably
they backed the wrong horse.
Yeah, well, apparently. But yeah, I'm like, maybe that's why they're so prominently featured in this movie. Like, please put Tylenol everywhere. Everyone takes Tylenol in the Superman universe.
Fascinating.
Yeah. Which, by the way, if people don't know that story, that's what led to the protective packaging we have now on Tylenol, with like the little cotton and the foil seal on top. It's because of the poisoning that happened. In the early 80s.
I remember the Russell Crowe character in The Insider talks about that.
Oh yeah,
I love the POV, like from the of the tractor as it's going after Ethan. It's just, for some reason it's very film studenty to me. You know what I mean? It's one of those shots that you get and you're so excited about.
Right. That's a really great example.
And you look at it now and it looks a little silly,
Yeah.
See, but again, it's like the way in which this is all happening is very funny to me, because he should run a lot faster. I mean, I know he's like under a spell.
Yeah.
But also, like, people are just standing around. Nobody's doing anything.
I know.
They're just like, hey, there's a tractor that's just driving itself. Anyway.
Yeah, my brain just So I did have a thought where I was like, okay, so the whole reason this town is getting destroyed is because this woman wants this guy.
Yeah.
That she doesn't know because he's cute.
That's right.
And then I also wrote down, this set piece should be 10 minutes. Instead, it's 35. And then I looked it up, and it took 22 days to shoot.
Just this sequence.
Just this sequence.
Good Lord.
I was like, wow. I don't know. Although I would say this is the big set piece of the movie, really.
I was just thinking, I was like, this is like the big action highlight, quote unquote.
Yeah. And this whole city was built on a backlot, which I did think about. Oh, wow, they're destroying some buildings. Was that a building that the city had planned to tear down? But this is all backlot. Looks pretty good.
That's impressive.
That looks like a real, small town city strip.
And props for that.
Yeah. Here we go. Now she's finally doing something.
Yeah. So I look at this and I'm like, well, it's cool to give Lucy Lane kind of the same spunk as her sister. I think that's good.
Totally. Oh, good call. Yeah.
Although I was like, like Jimmy, I was like, this should have been Jimmy's moment to be somewhat heroic,
Sure.
or at least try to be heroic, right? Because all you see him doing is taking pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I was like, all I'm saying is, if I was Mark McClure, maybe I would have pushed a little harder to be like, hey, like, give me something to do, so I'm not just standing around doing this, you know?
But to your point, I do like that it's Lucy who steps up and does something.
Although the way she gets knocked out there is like really friggin' stupid.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, what happened?
I know.
That's where you get your second unit and see a piece of debris fall on her head or something, right?
Yeah. Although I gotta give it, like, the choreography of all this is pretty impressive.
I agree.
And you got the giant tire rolling down the street.
Although, you know what's interesting is that they offered the directing gig to Richard Lester, who did Superman 2 and 3. He turned it down. They offered it to Robert Wise. He did Star Trek: The Motion Picture. But before that, he did like Sound of Music and The Day the Earth Stood Still. I don't know why they thought he would want to do this. But I'm, for all of what I've said before about Lester and sort of the comedic way he tended to interpret the Superman universe, I couldn't help but watch this and be lit. I was like, I think Richard Lester would have done a better job with this.
I read that also and thought, oh, he would have been perfect.
Right?
Yeah. The stuff that he brings to 2 that people don't like is what would have made this movie sing a little better.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like that whole sequence at the end where the villains are like blowing their super breath at Metropolis and everything's just gone haywire.
Mm-hmm.
This needed a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the way, by the way, that I thought she was going to use her laser vision to open up that water tower. And I love that she just flies through it. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see why this took so long to shoot. Look at all this coverage, all these.
It's a lot,
actors.
but that's what's frustrating is that this sequence really doesn't amount to much, because the only goal is to have Ethan set eyes on Kara,
right,
and fall in love with her. And so we've been on this like 10, 12-minute journey just for that.
That's a great point, which is a shame because I do think this is an impressive sequence.
Yeah.
It's too bad, it doesn't mean more necessarily. Or for me, it was just striking me how ridiculous it was that this woman was destroying the city just over this guy.
Yeah, and what we see later is like, you've got people like protesting her.
Yes.
So I'm like, so do they know about her from before? Like they're like, oh, it's that witch who lives down the road. I
wondered if I had missed a few things. Yeah. I actually went on the Wikipedia page afterwards and read the plot just to make sure I understood it. And I didn't remember that she had turned herself into some sort of princess or something. And,
yeah. But I love this here where Faye Dunaway's like, don't look at her. Don't look at her.
yeah, I know. Yeah. I love the light on the eyes, though. I always love that shot. So wait. Okay, so it's the first person he lays eyes on, right? And so he stumbled out of that carnival and did not make eye contact with.
Yeah, I think the idea is that he drinks the potion and he's all blah, 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 and then once it wears off the first person that he sees.
Okay, and that's why she's desperately trying to capture him and bring him back. So
yeah, because the idea was that he would have passed out in her home, her horror Halloween amusement park home that she lives in.
Yeah.
And then he would wake up and he would see her.
Right.
And he would love her for a day. But that's the other thing. It's 1 day.
That I was made clear to me in the Wikipedia article. I was like, wait a minute. I don't remember that.
All this for a day?
Yeah.
1 day of like the best sex he's ever had or she's ever had or somebody.
Right.
I guess.
And she's got to find another spider and she can just do it again, I guess.
So weird.
The carnival thing. What is that? Joker. What is that graphic novel where Joker lives at a carnival?
Yeah, The Killing Joke.
Killing Joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
Made me think of that.
And also in The Mask of the Phantasm.
Oh, movie. You know what? That's what I was actually thinking of.
Which also features the voice of Hart Bachner.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
Huh. It's kind of funny that Kara's like sort of down for the kiss though. Like, okay. He's like, I love you. And she's like, what are you talking about? And he kisses her and she's like,
This is the other thing is that they keep calling Kara the wimp.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's just the whole construct is just very odd. Like Faye Dunaway is in competition with this high school girl. And it's just like, that wimp. It's a strange thing to call, right? Like,
I know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess Faye Dunaway was a little difficult too on, well, you mentioned that earlier, but they even thought about possibly replacing her at some point with Angelica Houston, I read.
Who would go on to play a witch in The Witches.
The Witches, yeah. I was like, I can kind of see it. And she played
that.
a witch in one of the Ewok movies too.
Angelica Houston?
Yeah, right? Isn't that her? Oh, wait. Am I confusing? You know what? I'm conflating. I'm conflating the Witches and a similar black-haired Angelica Houston type, I think.
Okay, God. I mean, I haven't. The last time I saw the Ewok movies was the 80s.
You know what? I really am. I think I'm mixing up a shot and the poster from the Witches that is from like a low angle.
Oh, wow.
It's melding together in my brain.
That's hilarious.
And because this is a commentary, I can't delete it.
That's great. We're human.
Yay, train of thought.
See, doesn't this feel like this is like a comedy witch movie?
Yeah. That would actually kind of work then, where she like the love spell of it all.
Yeah.
And just, I don't know, the hubris and whatever. Yeah, a witch comedy. That's so spot on. Yes. But for a Supergirl movie, it's just like the stakes couldn't be lower.
That's the weird thing, right? I think the mistake is in having an antagonist that's really not connected to Supergirl or her home.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I think, again, what you needed to do was have the Omega Hedron followed to Earth by a malevolent race or person, I don't know, a space pirate or something who's who wants it.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you even say something like when they're on Argo City, like, this Omega Hedron, it's our source of power, but it's also being sought after by X person or whatever, something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Kind of a Brainiac type force.
Yeah. By the way, I read that headmistress scene was not in the original version.
That's right.
And I was like, that's exactly it. Let's go. Actually, I just tapped my iPad and was like, where are we at? And it's like, let's go. We don't need this. And she's going to kiss herself in a mirror? Why? Yeah, I mean, I get the goo eyes sort of thing because it's probably, she's young. It's maybe her first kiss. I get that.
Right.
But this just feels so sluggish.
I think that it's very straightforward. What she needed to do before she left Argo was have her little doodad on her wrist say, I have 36 hours.
Yes.
To get right. And then there's every so often she can glance at her thing and be like, I'm running out of time,
Yeah. So I can completely buy that she might be a little smitten kitten here and like a little lost in that. Totally makes sense. But then that's when
exactly.
And then she looks down and goes,
perfect.
Oh, right. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, that would have been.
And you do that without even needing to sort of cut back and forth,
Mm-hmm. I like all this practical stuff, by the way. We were seeing the trees ripped out of the ground and this, I don't even know how they did this. They collapsed this little hill here and pull that's cool looking.
Yeah, this was all shot on Pinewood.
Yeah.
The big 007 stages, which is where they shot, the first 3 Superman films.
Mm.
That type of stuff always bugs me when they do that like instant change. They did that in the first Superman also, where he hears Lex Luthor summon him.
Yeah.
and he sneaks away and he jumps out the window. And then as he's falling, he just becomes Superman.
Mm.
And I'm always like, well, why don't you just show, like, just even if he hand wave it, just show him changing at super speed or something, you know?
Yeah, yeah. It's funny because movies used to do that more, and they're like, hey, you get it. But audiences have become so much more, well, I wouldn't say more sophisticated. You were probably wondering it as a kid. So, but now we can, our voices are heard more often. And so they do have to explain things a little bit more, right? Less hand wavy these days.
And it's probably easier to depict it now.
That's a good point.
Technology. So this whole this thing about her fighting the shadow demon, as I was watching it, I was like, well, this is kind of silly how we don't see it, and then we see it at the end, and I was like, I wish we didn't see it.
right. It feels very Ghostbusters-y.
Yeah,
like a puppet. That someone who worked on Ghostbusters, it was like a rejected demon dog design or something.
Now, in the last few months, you've been singing the praise of hand-drawn lightning animations.
Yes,
and I got to sing the praise. I love seeing it.
You know what? I got to say, there was a moment last night where I was looking down a little bit, and I was kind of, on Wikipedia and reading interviews and that sort of thing. And it was during this moment I was sort of looking down, and then I looked up again, and I saw the lightning. I love that it was this shot where she holds it up, the thing, and I was like, whoa, Brian, you should be paying attention. truly, because I just like the way this looks. I like the lighting of the scene. I like the lightning of the scene. I like seeing her do Supergirl stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, the character, the Supergirl character in the comics up to this point, I think this was a problem that DC was dealing with. I'm talking about in the 80s, is that, the character was first introduced to 1959, I want to say. Right? So she's about 25 years old at this point. And I don't think she had a take. She didn't have an identity other than being the female equivalent of Superman,
Right.
And so I think that's to some extent, and this is the scene you were talking about, right?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I thought that was earlier. Yeah.
I think they hadn't fully defined the character, and so she struggled in terms of, she had her own title for a little while, and then that was canceled, and then maybe about a year or so before this movie came out, maybe in anticipation of this movie, they started a new monthly series, but they didn't really have a take, because I think that her personality was not very defined. And so, to the point that you were making earlier about why did they change it so that she's older than Clark, I think it allows for something more interesting, just in terms of her having a point of view that's different from Superman.
Totally.
Right. And so obviously, as we record this, neither of us has seen the new film, but I mean, just from the trailers, it seems like that's what the story's resting on.
Yeah. I mean, speaking to the graphic novel, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
She's a really interesting character.
Yeah.
Like she had a different experience, losing her world and her family and everything. And she deals with it very differently. But she also has an inherent goodness,
right,
that sometimes gets lost with her, outward belligerence from time to time. Which is
right.
She's I'm really looking forward to the movie. After reading it, I became way more excited about the movie.
Yeah, and I mean, by all accounts, it was that graphic novel that was the primary source of inspiration.
Yeah, I'm really hoping they stick closely to it, because it's a great story.
Yeah, and she has a line in the trailer where she says something to the effect, I'm paraphrasing, but she's like, my cousin sees the good in everybody. I see the truth. Right. And so, there's this cynicism, right? And I think that the version of the character as depicted in this film doesn't have that, because that was not the character in the comics. Right. I don't think they had really nailed her, the essentials of her world. She did not have a supporting cast, really,
Yeah.
And so, the fact is, this movie comes out in 1984. 1986, the DC did a series called Crisis on Infinite Earths, and they killed off Kara in that series.
Oh, wow.
And she was dead in the comics for 20 years.
Oh, wow.
I think that just sort of speaks to the fact that DC didn't really know what to do with her.
Yeah, sounds like it.
So, that's kind of where they were at when this movie came out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's maybe a part of the problem why this movie didn't connect. I'm sure there were a lot of reasons, but like you said, just no distinctive story or even persona for this character for people to show up for or look forward to seeing on the big screen.
Like, I think it's very telling that, at least with the newer film, they certainly have made sure to clarify that David Corn Sweat is in the movie.
Yeah, that's right.
By the way, I love this Ethan, now newly shaved and showered Ethan.
Yeah, with like
just following her around like a goddamn psycho.
But I love he's got the heart-shaped box of candy and roses, but like the way he's holding them too, as if he's in a Hallmark commercial or something.
It's like a high school sophomore.
Yeah, exactly.
For prom or something. I remember reading the storybook of this movie in the 80s.
Like the hardcover storybook, or remember the ones that would have the little record?
It was not one of those. It was like a larger size one.
Okay.
And like the front page has a little square with all the characters and their names.
Okay.
And it was just a storybook of the movie,
Yeah. And
it was like this time, because I was living in Saudi Arabia at the time, and it's like, well, whatever I have available, I will read.
Sure.
And I very like the beats of the story I knew from that storybook, and I remember not being able to make heads or tails of it.
Man, those were so cool back in the day. I remember that in my yeah, well, because I didn't see Temple of Doom till I was older, and that was one of those things where I could go to my elementary school library, and they had the storybook for Raiders of the Lost Ark. I remember Return of the Jedi, the hardcover, with Luke on Jabba's barge with his lightsaber.
I had that.
Oh, so cool. And then I saw the Temple of Doom storybook. So I was like, wow. And so I remember reading it and flipping through the pages. And in the children's storybook, they had Mola Ram with the heart on fire in his hand.
Well, you can't leave out the heart, obviously.
Well, and I remember looking at that like, what am I looking at? Like, this is, but you couldn't look away, right? It was horrifying. But that's my first memory of that, seeing that in a book. And it's a practical effect. So, I mean, it looked like I was looking at a photograph of a real life horror event.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
See, so here we've got, I don't know what we're supposed to feel about this relationship, because I mean, he is clearly an adult man.
Yeah.
And Kara is meant to be a schoolgirl.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as I was rewatching this, I was like, was this normal? Because it brought to mind all those times on Saved by the Bell where Kelly was dating like men, like adult men, right?
That's right.
Like at one point she was dating her boss at the Max,
mm-hmm.
and it was Xander, not Xander. It was Patrick Muldoon who played Xander Barkalow on Starship Troopers.
Okay.
And
yeah.
Right. He just passed away actually in the last month or so. But I'm like,
oh my gosh.
He was a grown up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Kelly, like, she's a high school junior,
Yes.
But it was very common, is my point, right?
I wonder if that has a lot to do with the writers.
It must.
These like middle-aged men writers, like, if I could date Kelly Kapowski. I mean, it's gross, but like, maybe, I don't know.
But you realize, like, was this just like normalized in our pop culture?
I think it kind of was,
right?
Honestly. I mean, yeah, like to your point, you saw it a lot more often, and that was just, it's one of these things where like now in the social media age, you'll see these Instagram posts where people will look back on these older shows and be like, wasn't that kind of weird?
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe people did think it was weird back then, but they didn't have outlets to express it like we do now. So you just rolled with it because that's the only entertainment we got.
Yeah. And I mean, it wouldn't have taken much to make any of this age appropriate.
Yeah, oh, sure.
right? Like either make Ethan younger or make Kara older.
Yeah.
Just have it be a college instead of a high school.
Exactly. And him, yeah, like maybe he could be a college. This is like way too in the weeds, but like he could have been a student there, but he couldn't afford it. And so he's like working his way to pay for his own school, or, yeah, you know what I mean? Put them on equal footing in sort of a way.
Right. And so that leads me to believe that a lot of this was just culturally normalized.
Yeah.
You know, but I think that it just sort of circling back to the conversation we were having. I think a jaded, cynical Kara to me is just more interesting.
Yeah, sure.
Than sort of this waif as she's portrayed as here. You know.
Mm-hmm. You know, I want to call out when Faye Dunaway is doing the spell.
Yeah.
Thing, pointing her hand out at the carousel. You know what I really miss is really beautifully composed widescreen photography. You know, there are people that just came from a certain era, like an older school era, where even if the movie wasn't very good, they still knew how to compose a shot.
Right.
You know, and I feel like we don't see that as much these days. It's a little bit more, I don't know if you want to call it verite, but it's like, yeah, we're just capturing what's here.
Right.
Kind of a sensibility these days, which is not terrible. It's fine. But I do really love a well-composed, you know, widescreen shot. And it just feels like people of this vintage, that's just what they learned. That's what they learned how to do. You
worked with what was available.
Yeah.
I think we live in such a green screen centric era that a lot of filmmakers are conditioned to just sort of get what you get and then we can fix it in post.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing if the filmmakers in question have the skills to follow through on that, you know?
Yeah, and if it fits the story, the style, totally,
right.
That's fine. But I just find sometimes I'll watch these older, not so great movies, but I'm like, yeah, but man, they shot the hell out of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think that is a reflection of Jeno Zwark, who, you know, I would not necessarily consider him a great director, but I think he knew his way around a shot.
Sure.
And when the script allowed, you know, he was able to exercise some skill. You know, it's like I said, right? Like when you and I talked through Jaws 2, that was my final takeaway. Is I'm like, he didn't embarrass himself.
Mm-hmm. No, totally.
Right. And even Somewhere in Time, which I don't like. I know a lot of people love that movie. I don't think it's badly directed, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a shame because I feel like this movie sort of detonated a grenade in his career because, well, immediately after this, he worked with the Salkinds again. He did Santa Claus, the movie.
I was literally about to bring that up because I wanted to ask you, have you ever seen that?
I have not seen it. But
I don't know why, but I remember seeing it everywhere as a kid. I remember seeing it in the video store or like books. And it seemed like sort of compelling because it came out when I was 5.
Sure.
So I'm like, well, obviously I have a lot of interest in this man, Santa Claus. He dictates an entire month of my year. But like, and it did look like a movie, you know, not like a brightly colored made for kids kind of thing. It looked like, I don't know, like anything Steven Spielberg would make. And it started Santa Claus. Like it looked like a movie about Santa Claus. And I remember having interest in it, but I never got around to seeing it. And apparently it wasn't good. So I don't know.
Yeah, that was sort of a legendary flop. And it's weird because we can look at it now and be like, well, that seems like a terrible thing to spend a lot of money on. But you can also weirdly see the Salkinds being like, hey, we got a lot of success with this other epic take on this beloved flying man in red.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Let's give it a shot with this. So, you know what I mean? You can see both sides of it. But yeah, that one, Jeno Zwark directed, which that did have Dudley Moore, by the way.
Yeah, they got him.
I'm sure they were all very happy. Everybody was happy to have Dudley Moore participate. But if this was like the body blow, that was the double tap, you know, I think in terms of Zwark's movie career.
Yeah.
He would go on. He directed a ton of television. In fact, speaking of Superman, he did like 15, 16 episodes of Smallville.
Oh, good for him.
You know, because I remember seeing his name in the credits of that and being like, from Supergirl. Actually, speaking of other super connections, Helen Slater on Smallville, she played Lara. Superman's mother, excuse me.
Mm.
And his father was played by the guy who just passed away. Remember, he went hiking. Julian Sands.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Remember, he got lost on a hike. Do you remember that? He just.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So he played Jor-El. And then Helen Slater would go on to play on the Supergirl television show, right? Which was on the CBS and then the CW.
Mm-hmm.
She played Eliza Danvers, Kara's human mother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she, in fact, Helen Slater played her human mom, and Dean Cain played her foster father.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then I think at some point they wrote Dean Cain out of the show once, like his douchery became too pronounced.
Right.
Just this past week, as a matter of fact, somebody shared a meme of Millie Alcock from the new film, and they contrasted it with the Neanderthal people from Land of the Lost.
Yes, I saw someone on my own Facebook page post this that I used to work with.
Yeah, and he Dean Cain shared that and goes, "I laughed."
Yeah,
and I'm just like, bro, like, what's wrong with you? You know, like,
I know,
like this is a human being you're talking about.
I know.
That is a person who is about to get thrust into just this freaking cauldron of fanboy rage.
Yeah, and you're in the family.
You're in the family.
Yeah.
Like, forget being like, hey, let's not talk about somebody like this. I don't even expect that anymore. But I'm like, you could have just not said anything.
You could have just not said, exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And again, she's like your sister now, in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, to your point, like all these Superman stories, I love the way that they bring all these people back and keep it all in the family. And it feels like they are this fraternity that they would look out for one another and support one another and bring new people into the fold and make them feel welcome. And like, why in the world would you? It's very strange. Very strange.
I think, unfortunately, I mean, this is a broader conversation, but just sort of that online affirmation when somebody hits like on your friggin' bullshit, like whatever endorphin rush it sends to your brain, you know?
Right.
It's a broader discussion, but I mean, it is, I feel terrible already for whatever Millie Alcock is going through.
I know.
You know, because it's just who wants to deal with this, you know?
I know.
Now that said, I met Helen Slater at a convention maybe 20 years ago or so.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Oh man. I mean, well, I thought she was gorgeous when this movie came out, you know?
No, for sure. I mean, yeah, she's beautiful.
She's luminous even now, you know?
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah. It was a nice, got to have I was there like before the floor opened up. So I was actually able to have like actual conversations with people, which was really nice.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be my, follow up to this is I'll check out The Legend of Billie Jean.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, that's kind of the thing for me is I'm always glad when you have somebody make their debut in a film like this. And even if the movie underperforms, if they've done a good job, like they are rewarded in terms of some degree of career longevity.
Right.
It's a little bit like Kyle MacLachlan in Dune.
Sure.
Right. Where I'm like, that movie should have just been a nuclear event for his career.
Right.
But my man has never stopped working.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And David Lynch obviously found some sort of muse with him, right? I mean, Blue Velvet and Twin Peaks, of course. And I don't know. I was laughing more at the scene earlier where I can't even remember these characters' names. Just Faye Dunaway. She like throws a coconut.
Yeah,
you know,
it just with remarkable precision.
Yeah, at Hart Bachner's head on a beach, and then Bianca's just sitting there, kind of with her legs crossed and holding a cigarette, just watching it all go down. I'm like, what? This is such a funny movie.
Well, that's the thing, right? Because getting beamed on the melon with the coconut
From the sky, no less. Yeah.
Right.
Not just a tree.
It came from out of, like, it had to have achieved escape velocity.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's something you roll with in a comedy. But if we're living in an ostensibly real world, I'm like, he should be dead.
Yeah, he'd be dead. I mean, isn't that one of those facts that comes up a lot where a certain number of people die a year because coconuts fall on their heads?
That is fascinating and frightening.
Yeah. So stay away from coconut trees, or at least not directly underneath them.
Yeah, stand away.
Yeah. He disappears. I kind of want like a.
I know, that's what we needed.
Or why not just go boing, boing, boing.
You know, whenever you have scenes in movies like what we just saw here, where you have characters who are like they're able to see what's happening far away, you know.
Yes, I think I know what you're gonna say.
And we see the image. I'm always like, how is the camera placement dictated on what you see?
Yes.
Right. Like,
yeah,
it's very specific. Like the framing and everything. This is
yeah. It's like when people watch home movies in movies, but they're like cut. They're edited.
Exactly.
You know, like that's not how home movies work. They're handheld, uncut.
That's right.
Yeah, they look like produced cinema. So yeah, her magic mirror effect is kind of funny because it's like cinema framing, cinema editing.
Exactly.
Yeah. This mountain, you know, looks pretty good. Not gonna lie. I don't know about the liquid that's coming down the sides, but
right.
That effect, the lighting, itself, making it look like it's at the end of the street. That's pretty good.
But I think to the point you were making earlier, we don't know anything about Selena.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, why does she want this? Why does she want a castle on top of a mountain? Right? Like,
yeah, no, it's just a funny sentence. Why does she want a castle on top of a mountain? I don't know.
It seems inconvenient to me. I'm just going to put this out there.
I don't disagree. Which, by the way, just reminds me of one of my favorite things that makes me smile, and I wouldn't change or have any other way. But I love in Edward Scissorhands how it takes place in this like hilarious 1950s suburban neighborhood, but at the end of the street, there's this giant Gothic castle on a mountain that they're like, oh yeah, that thing.
That's right.
I love that.
Basically that.
Yeah, but that's a fairy tale.
This is trying to be a fairy tale.
That's true.
I think the fact that, okay, I mean, granted, you don't have Chris Reeve. Chris Reeve made very clear he wants something to do with this.
Yeah.
Although hopefully he did get a check for them using his face on that poster.
Right.
But I think even still, by virtue of Mark McClure being in this movie, you're explicitly connecting it to those other movies. So I think you have a responsibility to make it fit. Not just tonally, but also in terms of how you depict the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the problem, is that there's nothing in the prior films that talks about magic as a factor, you know?
Right.
And I'm not saying magic can't exist, you know. I am saying I don't, like, this wasn't the movie to do it. That would have been something that you do in the sequel once you have explicitly connected this to the previous films.
Right.
You know, it's like one thing I always say is, like, audience, like in terms of suspension of disbelief, your audience will go with you.
Mm-hmm. But
once you establish the rules, you can only gently push those boundaries. You can't break them.
Right.
And it's like if a cyborg showed up in Lord of the Rings.
Right.
You'd be like, come on, even though it's a world of orcs and demons and everything else. Yeah,
no, actually, that's a great example. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I like those things, but those things don't mesh in my mind.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So I've always loved the effect, the Phantom Zone effect.
Yeah, it's cool. The glass or the mirror floating, twirling through space.
But my question is, so the thing that, the glass thing, so is that I always thought that is the Phantom Zone.
I thought so too. Yeah.
But what we see here makes it seem like it's a vessel that gets you to the Phantom Zone.
Right. Which is like this desolate planet.
Right.
Yeah.
This is very confusing, right?
I mean, maybe that wasn't the case before, but they needed her to meet with Peter O'Toole again. And that would be kind of funny, actually, if that happened just in a floating mirror. Like she's standing there like, ah, and then he's like, ugh, and like bumps into her. And she's like, oh, what are you doing here? And it's just, as they're confined to this small little shard of glass floating through space.
Yeah. See, like, I wonder if there was a better way to visualize it.
So it doesn't just look like she sent her to Mars.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly, right? Because if you remember, in Superman the movie, we see the three criminals are sent to the Phantom Zone, and that glass is just spinning in space, right? And then in Superman 2, the nuclear blast or whatever, the atomic bomb, it explodes, and then they're freed from the prison, right? So then that means they have been in the Phantom Zone that entire time.
Yeah. So
I feel like what might have been more effective is you see her enveloped in the thing, and it goes off into space, and then essentially our perspective shifts. So it's like the camera passes through the glass, and now we're seeing it from the inside out. Does that make sense?
Totally. Yeah.
So that way we're not doing the thing like it shatters and it's like that we go through and now we see what it's like inside for the people who are there.
Yeah. Yeah. Which in my mind would be some sort of like big haunting house of mirrors or something.
Yeah. Or I mean, it can even
makes
encompass,
no sense.
Right.
Or makes little sense. Yeah.
Like there's no time, there's no space, there's nothing. It's just.
Exactly.
I have to say, I was watching this with my daughter, and right away she's like, "Zoltar is going to find her."
Really?
So she's plugged into this stuff.
I wasn't even thinking about it, but this I think was a moment again where I like looked down for a second, and I was like, "Wait a minute, why do they have signs against her? How do they even know who this person is?"
That's what I'm saying. It's like she snapped her fingers, and now it's Biff 1985.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's my question: is it like she was operating in silence this entire time? Like nobody knew who she was, and then suddenly now everybody knows, or was it always like, oh, that crazy witch?
Yeah, like they know that there's that crazy person in town.
So this here, where Lucy's like, my roommate Linda, and then they both, Bianca and Selena, are like, the wimp.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is the weirdest thing in this movie.
Yeah. I read something, I don't know if this is true or not, but that apparently you see some big puddle of water that suddenly appears in the scene.
Okay, right there. There's a
maybe when they're standing there with the signs, and apparently it's from a deleted scene where Selena turns a protester into an ice statue and shatters it.
Cool.
That's what I said. I was like, I kind of want to see that.
Right?
Of all the things to not cut and the things to cut.
Kind of a Moss Man in Masters of the Universe.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, right here. This is where Inaya's like, yep, it's Zoltar. Or actually, she was like, what's his name? Zoltar.
She said that?
Yeah.
Literally? Wow.
Yep. So she was paying attention.
She's like, this is when Lawrence of Arabia shows up. Knowing your daughter.
Seriously. There's also a funny bit later where they see her, Patty and Selma see her in the Phantom Zone.
Yeah.
And they're like, she's with some old guy. And I was like, how old was Peter O'Toole? And he's like early 50s.
He's 51. I looked at it.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, come on.
Yeah. He's still,
he seems like a perfectly adequate 50-year-old man. Come on.
Right.
Yeah, Peter O'Toole is an interesting cat, though. It's like it definitely feels like he sort of fell victim to his own, predilections.
Yeah, because I remember he had that kind of comeback moment with Venus.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Maybe like 15, 20 years ago. And I don't remember if he won, but he was nominated.
I think 2013 he died.
Okay.
I could be
right.
wrong.
He either was nominated or won an Oscar for that. And
yeah.
I had his... I'm looking now. He's on the Tudors.
That's right. He was in the Tudors. I forgot about that.
On Ratatouille, he's Anton Ego.
That's right.
Whoa, I was spot on. 20 years, Venus, 2006.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah. But I know him best from Lawrence of Arabia.
Oh, not from Supergirl?
Well, now. Zaltar, the guy who sacrifices himself.
Yeah. The Tudors, by the way, which also starred Henry Cavill.
Oh, really?
See, there's so many Superman interconnections with these things, you know?
Yeah, there really is.
See, Jimmy Olsen is so completely useless in this movie. That's what I feel bad for Mark McClure because he's entirely right. I'm sure he was happy to get that paycheck.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I guess it's like, I don't know, pros and cons.
Yeah, because he said like he had just finished Superman 3, which was also in the UK. And they're probably like, hey, hang out for another couple weeks and just do this thing.
Yeah, create a link. I understand it, but they just don't make it seem necessary at all.
Yeah. Like, I guess what I'm saying is I would have liked for this film to show us a little bit of a side of him. Like, all that hanging around Superman has taught him something.
Mm-hmm. Totally. But instead, he's just a man of inaction.
Yeah.
when stuff's going down, and then he gets to be like another person hanging from the ceiling in a cage.
Exactly.
In the villain's lair. Yeah.
Who
he even comments on like, what? Seriously? Hanging in a cage from the ceiling? How unoriginal, basically.
That's just Mark McClure live.
That was like, do you know that little trivia from the Lego movie where Morgan Freeman's wizard character, he says something like, all right, we got to write all that down because I'm not going to remember any of it.
Okay.
And apparently, and it sounds very random and funny in the movie. And it turns out that was Morgan Freeman unhappy while they were recording. And
really?
They decided to use it. Yeah.
That's hilarious. I didn't know that.
So you got to wonder, if that's Mark McClure. Like, what? Seriously? Hanging from a ceiling? Who wrote this stuff?
Yeah. See, so going back to what I was saying earlier, if you make Zaltar Zor-El and you make him Kara's father.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Doesn't that make all of this just a lot more emotional?
Yeah, all of it. All of it. Like, we forgive you. I'm being punished for your mistake, but like, I'm going to help you get out here to correct it. I'll sacrifice myself. Absolutely.
Again, it's just, those are the types of choices that I look at and I'm like, well, I don't think I'm, that ahead of the curve,
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like it's 40 years of hindsight. I mean, this feels like the type of decision making you make while this is all coming, right? Because ultimately, it's like how do we connect every character to our main character in a way where there's some emotional push and pull,
mm-hmm.
and that's a no brainer to me.
Yeah,
and you allow, because to me this is the equivalent of when Superman is able to connect with his father through the computer in the Fortress of Solitude.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this thing that she thought she had lost, but now she has it.
Yeah.
And, her final test is that she has to lose her mentor,
Yep. Gotta say, man, the practical sets.
Yeah.
Something to it.
By the way, she's really good in this scene.
I was literally thinking that when she takes the squirt bottle thing.
Yeah.
And kind of does this smile.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's really good.
Yeah.
She's experiencing a lot of feelings right here, and she's expressing them really well.
Now, the Salkinds initially wanted Brooke Shields for this role.
I mean, I can see that, especially in this moment.
At this moment, I can see it. Yeah, I think Brooke Shields was in the mix. I know Demi Moore read for it.
Interesting.
And I think ultimately, I think with Brooke Shields, they just decided she was too famous.
Mm.
And I mean, certainly that's true in that that was exactly the process they went through with Superman, right? Where before Chris Reeve comes in, they're looking at, like Sylvester Stallone and Robert Redford and, Al Pacino. Like, and the problem is anybody who that well is going to look like that actor wearing a Superman suit.
Right.
And so they really did break the mold when they found Christopher Reeve, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think in terms, so that thinking of being like, let's find an unknown like Chris Reeve for this, that worked out. Lynn Stallmaster, same casting director. And I think, like I was saying earlier, I think Helen Slater plays the role she's in the same lane as Chris Reeve.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the movie does let her down rather often.
Yeah, agreed.
One thing she did speak about, it was how generous Peter O'Toole was as a scene partner.
Oh, that's nice.
And how much she learned from him,
For someone who's so young and he's already a legend at this point.
Yeah, and he could have easily been like, man, F this. What am I doing here?
Exactly. But treating her like a peer, a scene partner, I mean, that's just only going to make the work better.
I agree. Yeah, and again, I think Peter O'Toole is good in this movie. That's the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Kooky uncle type.
Yeah. I think that obviously the movie was leaning into the fact that he was a legend.
Mm-hmm.
And they were trying to use that to him and Faye Dunaway were like look at the people we got in this movie,
Yeah.
And they showed up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. They don't look like they have one eye already on how to get out of the studio.
On the sack of cash with the $sign on it.
Exactly.
Just off camera, See, I think this bit here where he sacrifices himself doesn't hit for me.
Okay, I want to hear why, because I remember feeling something similar, but I also didn't quite understand it.
That's my issue. Is I don't understand what got him here.
Yeah.
Right? Because, and I think just a little bit of dialogue would have done it, right? Because in the early part of the film, he talks about how he wants to leave Argo. He's like, maybe I'll go to Earth or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And here he's just like, screw it. I can't weather the storm. And I just think we needed to connect one thing to the other. Like if it's he's so torn apart by despair that he's like, I'm not strong enough. Well, that's interesting, but I think the dialogue should allude to that. Like the Phantom Zone has just broken him.
Right. He's been there for so long. Yeah.
That's interesting. Or he's desperate to get out, but he knows that by sacrificing himself, Kara can get out.
Exactly.
Then that's interesting. But we don't get either of those.
See, that's when I went on Wikipedia because I didn't understand why he had to sacrifice himself.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like Jonesy, I'm going to be okay,
Right.
From Crystal Skull.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, gosh.
I remember you see it, you're like, yeah, bye.
Yeah, I know. I don't understand he and Indy's relationship. I certainly, as an audience member, do not care about that character. Just like a wink and a just let me go. It'll be all right. I'm like, fine. Bye.
See ya.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah. I think that if this is him saying, alone, I can't get out of here, but now that the two of us we can help each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're this close, and it's one of these things where he realizes it's either him or her, and so it's got to be her. Then that's something.
Totally.
But he's just kind of like, no, I can't do it, and he just flings himself in. I don't know. Right? Like,
yeah.
It's very strange.
Yeah. Sort of like I thought of that moment in Titanic when DiCaprio tries to get on the door.
Yeah.
And then it won't work. And then he does this little thing to himself where he's like, right. Like, okay. Like, that's how it's got to be. Like, it would be nice if we got a moment here where he's like, yeah, the two of us, and then realizes, oh, only one of us can make it. And he like, yep, nope, It's going to be her.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. That scene in Titanic, that it pisses me off that to this day, we're coming up on 30 years. People are like, there's enough room on the door for both of them. I'm like, no, there wasn't.
I know he tried. It didn't work.
Is established in the movie.
I know. I mean, maybe it would have helped if the door had looked smaller just for, whatever. But yes, it is established in the movie that it won't work.
Dude, it drives me bananas that people say that shit right now in the year of our Lord 2026, like they have just discovered something.
Yeah, like they have something over it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's like every few months on social media, somebody gonna be like, if Batman really wanted to help people, instead of beating up the mentally ill, he would pay for their treatment.
Dude, I just saw that recently too, and I was like, that's not what he does.
I know. I'm like, you just thought you came up with something, didn't you?
Yeah, I know.
Ugh.
Oh, that's so funny. I bet our algorithms are pretty similar.
I would imagine, yeah. Which I'm gonna say good.
Yeah. She looks great, doesn't she? There, with her hands on her hips, Supergirl. Like
she's got
the gig is up.
I know, man.
That's good.
She's got the physicality.
Yeah. I like this. This is very like comic booky, right? Like old school comic booky. It's like now there's like hot spikes on the ground.
Yeah.
Or sort of like Indiana Jones, like Temple of Doom a little bit, like the spikes in that room coming down. And
that's right. This was the same year as that.
Oh yeah. Wow. That's weird to think about. So
yeah,
Ghostbusters, right. Temple of Doom, this 84.
See, that's the thing, right? You look at Temple of Doom and you can watch that right now, 40 plus years later, and it feels contemporary, right?
Oh, dude, totally.
Right. And so that's like watching it, like you say this and Temple of Doom came out within a few months of each other. I don't believe it.
Guess what the budget was on Temple of Doom?
It's less than this.
28 million.
There you go.
Versus this movie's 35.
So, I mean, it goes to show sometimes throwing more money at a thing isn't always the right approach.
Yeah, yeah. But you're so right. Yeah, that movie does look contemporary.
Like if you watch Temple of Doom right now, kids will be engrossed in it and not have to make a lot of excuses.
Yeah, a few, matte paintings aside, but
sure, and
the filmmaking, the acting, the adventure, the peril, the stunts,
that stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
I think
Man,
with this,
what is this movie's excuse?
That's the weird thing, it doubly because they were coming off of Superman 3, which was not received well, and so you'd think they would have doubled down more on really locking in the story.
Yeah,
because this movie was announced before Superman 3, and I think initially the plan was for her to. That's a very funny bit from her character, by the way, the Bianca character.
I like her.
Very broad. Yeah, I think she's kind of in the right lane for this movie.
I know Parker Posey already was in a Superman movie, but I can see a Parker Posey type now.
Yep,
doing her.
Yeah, oddly enough, they didn't let Parker Posey play a Parker Posey type.
Yeah, that's right. She's just kind of damsel in distress, really.
Yeah, and bored.
Yeah.
But what was I saying?
I'm sorry. I derailed you.
No, that was me. Yeah, they planned to introduce her in Superman 3.
Okay.
And initially, Ilya Salkind was like, "Oh, we're writing out Lois, and Superman's new love interest will be Supergirl."
Oh,
which, like, bro, maybe look into the characters you own the rights to. Just get that all figured out beforehand.
Yeah, right.
They decided not to do that, and I think maybe that would have been smart. I mean, I wonder if the current Superman folks specifically thought of that, and that's why they had Supergirl show up at the end of the 2025 movie, so that it's like it's rooted within the world that people already know.
Yeah, this is linked. They know each other. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so this looks terrible.
I was about to give this movie a compliment, and then I was like, well.
Yeah.
I just real quick, the Faye Dunaway stuff here with her hair blowing and the backlighting and the fog.
That's all fine.
I was like, sometimes just great craft can look even better than a visual effect.
Yes.
Like, I really believe she's harnessing some sort of magic, and it's spooky looking and dazzling looking. I was like, man, you got to give it to the old school stuff here. Like, they worked with what they had, and sometimes it feels even more magical to me.
Yeah.
Then you get
and then
to
you have this.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, they're doing like, well, this is weird, right?
What is happening?
So the monster has Kara and he's twisting her like taffy, I guess.
Okay, that's what I thought is happening.
And then Zoltar Obi-Wan's this thing.
Yeah.
And so that's her way out. But I'm just like, guys, you had to have known how stupid this looks.
Yeah, because it doesn't look like she's actually there. She looks kind of transparent, like it's her soul or something.
The shadow demon is a physical presence because she fought the invisible version earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, why don't you have her use heat vision or something, like something so that we don't have to see that where she's being twisted and it looks ridiculous, you know?
This movie cost more than Temple of Doom.
Yeah, think about that.
Wild.
I mean, it costs more than Star Wars, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was 17 million.
Yeah. So I feel like the Salkind solution is always just throw money at it.
Yeah.
And you know, because they were basic, like Return of the Jedi cost less than this movie. That was $32.5 million.
Wow.
And that was just a year earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, the Salkinds were like Golan and Globus, I feel like. Kind of, you know, they would get stars on board, they would raise a bunch of money from international investors and then just use that like, oh, just figure it out.
Yeah, and I was going to say maybe that's a real testament to ILM also.
That's true.
Where they were not only pioneers, but they were the best of the best. Like they were innovating and doing it exceptionally well. And, you know, I don't want to disparage the people who worked on this, but like maybe just, I don't know. They hadn't developed the same sorts of tricks and they were working with whatever they had to work with.
But see, that's the weird thing, right? Because Superman 3 was just a year earlier, and say what you will about that movie, I'm not going to defend it. I will say I probably have the same level of nostalgia for Superman 3 that a lot of folks likely have with this one, you know? But I mean, it's not, you know, it's not a well-written film. But one thing you can say is that the effects largely hold up.
Yeah, that's my memory. I've only seen it the one time with you.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's a few, like you said, you know, occasionally there's matte lines that aren't perfect, but by and large, the effects work.
Mm-hmm.
And many of the same people who made those films, those first three Supermans, were involved in this, which is why the fall off, effects wise, is very odd to me.
Yeah, yeah. Huh? How'd they do that? Get her to fly out that door. Huh.
That's what you need.
The mountain disappears. See, this is so stupid, but I actually thought he was going to be like, wow, our love can move mountains. When he's kissing her.
So this here, he says, goodbye, Linda, because he figured it out.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay. And then he just walks out. Like, what in the world? Right? Like, why would you not have the camera trained on his face? He has this look of longing as she leaves, and then you cut.
Like,
right?
E.T., the end of E.T. Like,
yes.
With Elliot looking at the sky, wind blowing the hair. Yes, 100%. 100%.
I mean, what? That doesn't. What are you doing?
You know what he should have done is like, put his hand in his pocket and go, ooh. And then he sees a penny on the ground and picks it up, flips it, catches it, puts it in his pocket, and walks away.
So we don't get to see her fly back to Argo as her entire community is dead.
That's what it should have been. All of them either, suffocating on the ground, like, where have you been?
They could have had like the mist ending, you know?
Yeah, yes. Oh, man.
So, one thing I should say, you know, they had the big premiere in the UK for this, and Christopher Reeve was there, you know, and so, you know, I think during the production, even though he wasn't involved, I know that Helen Slater spoke with him just to get kind of a lay of the land and, you know, he gave her good advice, and they never got to appear on screen together in live action, but they did via CGI recreation in The Flash.
I was gonna say, just you leading up to that, it unlocked a memory. Yep, I remember that.
Which I know a lot of people have strong negative feelings about that film broadly, and that sequence in particular. I will say, I certainly appreciated that the intent behind it, and I've said all along, if the families are okay with it, or in this case, Helen Slater herself is okay with it, I really don't have a problem with them doing that.
Yeah, same. I don't know. I felt like we were on another planet with that movie.
It's very weird. Yeah, I stand by it. I mean, I haven't revisited it a ton, but I enjoyed it then, and I have enjoyed it when I have revisited it.
Yeah. By the way, can I just say this movie's credit game is on point. These are cool.
If you're spending $1 million per credit sequence, then
yeah,
it
but
better be.
it's sort of
different.
It reminds me of the Star Wars crawl, but not exactly. It almost looks like a camera up high, pointed toward like a soldiers marching towards you or something, like a slightly overhead, and it looks amazing. And look, as the credits get close to the bottom of the frame, they go out of focus.
Yeah.
Like someone put a lot of thought into this.
Yeah.
Wow, that's my takeaway. The credits in this movie are just A+.
There you go. This is like fishing for a compliment.
Yeah.
So what'd you think of the movie? Well, the credits really blew my hair back.
Yeah. So
this is your second and final time watching Supergirl from 1984.
Yeah, probably. I that's the thing, right? Because there was, even as you said that, I know I joked about it earlier, but I thought, well, maybe if it was on TV or something, maybe I'd stop on it. But then I thought, that's a problem with this movie. There's so few scenes I would actually want to stop on. Maybe the tractor thing in the middle, or sort of the first half of the movie. But then as it's just, the witch milling about her lair, just magic mirror stuff, I'm probably not going to want to stop on that.
Yeah, that's what you realize is you said magic mirror, and when they were putting this thing together, they basically they did Snow White, and they did a find replace and put Supergirl's name in the script wherever Snow White appears.
Yeah,
it's very much, and that speaks to, I think, sort of an unseriousness, because you're like, oh, we got to make something girls alike, and it's like, again, if I were to bet, I would say there were plenty of female viewers of those first two Superman movies.
Totally.
Right. And they plugged into the romance and all that other stuff, while in the context of an action picture. And so I think it tells you something, that you had Supergirl, and then about 20 years later, you had Catwoman. And both are awful. I think both remain like the lowest Rotten Tomatoes scores, for like a DC movie. And so you have these two flops that really, and then Elektra, somewhere in there, right around there.
I remember it well.
I'm sure you do. But those like dissuaded studios from taking a swing on female superheroes.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, why don't you just treat it like a superhero picture that happens to have a female lead instead of like second guessing yourself, It's amazing
that we're finally possibly catching up to that idea.
Hopefully, as we are recording, we have no idea what Supergirl 2026, what the prognostications are for it. But I certainly hope it does well, just to sort of prove the naysayers wrong. Obviously, I hope the movie is good more than anything. But
yeah,
I think there is this tendency. It's only gotten worse. Like I said, the real polarized, weird internet conversations. But I feel like, look, if you make a good picture, people will show up.
Yeah.
But hey, let us know your thoughts on Supergirl from 1984. I know that this is a movie that a lot of our listeners likely do have some nostalgia for, so I definitely want to hear your thoughts on the film and our thoughts.
Yeah, I completely understand that, because there are movies that I grew up with that I can look at now and be like, well, I probably wouldn't show anybody that if they hadn't seen it before, because it's just something I enjoyed when I was a kid, and there's a nostalgic attachment. And so I completely understand that there are people who probably love this movie, because they grew up with it. And so I definitely want to hear their feelings about that.
Absolutely. And if you want to send those to us, you can email us at moviefilmpodcast@gmail.com. You can also hit like on our Facebook page, facebook.com/moviefilmpodcast, and message us there. As always, please go to Apple Podcasts and leave a review, leave a star rating. Every little bit helps. And if you're listening to this show on YouTube, please hit like, hit subscribe, and of course, leave a comment there because we do read those on the show as well. Brian, I know we have a Patreon also.
That's right. If you head over to patreon.com/moviefilmpodcast and hit subscribe for only $5 a month, you'll find every commentary we've ever done and every episode moving forward absolutely ad-free. In addition to that, you can now find bonus conversations that we drop about twice a month, trailer talk, extra things that wouldn't fit into the episode, which are a lot of fun. Our free feed will always be available, but this is our way of providing what we believe is the most satisfying way to enjoy the show. So no ads or interruptions butting into the conversation, which is crucial when you're trying to watch along with a commentary. Plus, your subscription goes a long way in helping to support us and helping to sustain producing the show. So if you're interested and able, please head over to patreon.com/moviefilmpodcast and subscribe. We'd be very grateful.
And if you're looking for me online, you can find me on social media at Zacky's Corner. That's ZAKIS Corner. You can also read my reviews at the San Francisco Chronicle and also at IGN and The Wrap. What about you, Brian?
You can find episodes I've written of Puppy Dog Pals and Young Jedi Adventures streaming on Disney+.
And with that, on behalf of my partner, Brian Hall, my name is Zachy Hassan. This has been our movie film commentary track for 1984 Supergirl. We'll catch you next time. Thanks, everybody.